Hey and welcome to the MX5 guide on the Jefferson circuit in iRacing. This one will be short and tricky. You can practice against my ghost car, you can find all lap files on the community Discord, which is linked in the description down below, and you can find the telemetry on Garage 61. Use all available space and drive on this curb-like area to hit a wide entry into T1. I'm using the barrier on the left here as marker and hit the brakes when it reaches the A pillar of my car. You want to go hard on the brakes and shift all the way down into first gear. I'm using a manual blip here on my downshift into first gear, which I would recommend you to do as well. You don't need to do it, but it helps you to keep the car more stable on your way into the turn and push it a bit further to the limits. Aim for a smooth line around the first curb. Now you can attack it, but it's easier and more consistent if you drive right around it, because you can be a bit more aggressive on the throttle. Fully attack the second turn, you don't need to mind anything here. Lift on turn in into the third turn to hit a good entry and slam the throttle down shortly before you reach the curb to push the car to the right and prepare a good line into the hairpin. There's no marker for the next turn, but you don't really need one. You want to hit the brakes as soon as you straighten the wheel, shift down into first gear and aim for a tight line around the inside curb. Be mindful when you engage the throttle and listen to the car. If you are too aggressive here, then the rear can become a bit loose, which will cost you time, and in the worst case it will make you spin. Use all available space again and position the car on the far right edge of the track. Touch the brakes shortly before you reach this dirty spot on the right side of the track. Shift into second gear and aim for a smooth line. Exit on the edge of the track and commit to the throttle. You shouldn't be afraid of hitting the grass here, you can accelerate over it and get the car back on track. It's way faster than lifting and completely destroying your lap. The last double turn is tricky, but it becomes easy once we've picked it apart. First of all, you want to stay in third gear and don't shift up on the straight. It's simply not worth it and gives you an easier time through this double left-hander. The next thing I want to prepare you for is that we will brake in 3 simple steps. A first initial touch, a second stage of trail braking, and a third final push on the brakes. Without a cut, it looks like this. And now let's take a look at each single step. You want to attack the inside curb here, align the car with the edge of the track, and give the brakes the first initial push on the brakes. Since you aligned the car and you are holding the wheel straight, you don't need to be afraid of being too aggressive on the brakes, because you can't spin when you are braking in a straight line. At the same time you start turning, you want to decrease the pressure on the brakes and trail brake into the turn. You know why, and you have probably already experienced it. If you brake hard while turning in, your rear will try to overtake you and you spin out. That's why we have this soft second transition stage on the brakes as we drive towards the first inside curb. When you reach the inside curb, you want to enter the third and final stage of braking. You want to open the wheel, keep it straight as you go hard on the brakes, and let the car swing to the right edge of the track. Be prepared to countersteer because the car will be a bit unsettled, but it looks way worse than it feels. I'm also manually blipping on the downshift into first gear to keep the car more stable. Let the car swing to the right edge of the track, and from this point on it's smooth sailing. You want to coast for a second as you wait for the car to turn, and then aim for a clean line around the inside curb as you accelerate onto the straight. Since this is such a crucial part of the track, I will show it again without any cuts. Please leave a like when you learned something new. I wish you all the best for the next weekend. See you next time!